I got a package in my P.O. box from one of you guys. And today we're gonna be opening this up to find out what's inside. So let's get started. And now I understand this sounds a little bit crazy because the only thing that we're going to be taking a look at today is whatever is inside of this box. But the reason that I wanted to do this today was because of how heavy this thing is. And also, when you shake it back and forth, let me see if you guys can hear this. It sounds like there's a lot in here. And so now all I have to hope for is that it isn't just a bunch of rocks. Even though that could be cool depending on what rocks it is. And so far, it isn't. Hi Top Pops, I bought these figures as a lot a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, the person who sold them did not inform me they came from a smoke-friendly home. I gotta agree with you, I hate when that happens, especially when they tell you it is a mint condition figure and then you get it in and it's got this really strong smell. It's not mint. Oh, and it definitely doesn't smell like it. I had to ditch the boxes, which are in rough physical shape as well, with many dents and holes to get rid of the smell, and noticed a few of the pops may have been ... stabbed. I'm gonna be honest, I read the ... didn't read the next word, stabbed. Stabbed? Anyway, a couple have seen better days, especially Mrs. Potato Head, who seems to have lost an arm. I cleaned them up and got rid of the smell completely and would have kept them for myself at a box, but looking at them just makes me sad about what could have been to have all of these sellers' pops in box. Although a few of them are in rough shape, plenty of them still look amazing, and for those, I immediately thought of you and your amazing videos. I know you normally collect in-box, so I thought it might be cool for you to have a couple pops to display out-of-box for a change, which is definitely nice, and thanks so much for thinking of me. I would love if you were to put my box into a video, but if not, at least you warn people the dangers of online sellers who may be smoking-friendly or may not take care of their boxes as well as some of us may. I love the channel and appreciate you taking the time to read my letter. I hope you enjoy this package. I also threw in a little extra gift for you. I hope you like it, Eric. Well, Eric, thank you so much for sending over, I guess, a huge lot of pops. Let's check them out. And no, actually, he also mentioned that there was going to be a gift inside of here, and it looks like there is some of the office wrapping paper on the top, which I was never able to get. And if you guys have never seen this before, they actually made Funko Pop wrapping paper. And so if I were to guess, the gift is probably inside of here, so let's find out. Oh, this is neat. Check this out, guys. It is a golden Pikachu. And you know what? Funny enough, I actually saw this Pikachu a little while ago over at Toys R Us, and I was debating on purchasing it, and I guess good thing I didn't. So, Eric, thank you so much for sending this over. And now I guess let's get into the pops. Oh my gosh, there's a lot in here. Oh, and actually, before I start to take them out, because this is a random lot of figures, I don't know if I'm going to know every single one of their names, but I'll try my best. And actually, we're not starting off very strong here. I believe this one is from maybe Fantastic Beasts. It looks like it. I'm looking on the bottom here, and it doesn't really help much. I see something about, oh no, it says Warner Brothers Entertainment, so it must be Fantastic Beasts. I just have no clue who this is. And now, next up here, we've got a Star Wars pop, and this one here is the Ralph McQuarrie version of Yoda, and somehow he made him look older. After that, we've got one coming in from Toy Story, and this one here is Combat Carl Jr. Pretty neat. Looking at him, you can see some scuff marks, but if you had like a magic eraser, you could definitely get that off no problem. Oh, and actually, now that I think about it, I haven't seen any stabbed Funko Pops yet, and maybe we'll run into one soon. Like, what is this one here? Okay, we've got, I believe this is, I want to say Conan? He looks pretty decent. You know, it's funny, I said Conan, but I'm not very confident with that name. Like, I feel like it's him. It kind of looks like him. I'm not sure, though. Or is it Hercules? Never mind, scratch that one. Alrighty, now what do we have next? Aha! We've got an interesting one here coming in from, I believe, Critical Role. It does say Critical Role on the bottom. And again, don't know her name, but this is a pretty sick pop. Especially because she's got a lot going on here with the broom as well as a coin in her hand and then her hair blowing in the wind as well as the witch's hat. It's got a lot of cool detail. Now, who is this? And I'm pretty sure he's from Harry Potter. Does it say Harry Potter on the bottom? It does not. It's another Warner Brothers one. I'm sure it's Harry Potter, though. And if you guys want to check him out, this is what he's looking like. I just can't think of his name. Now, it looks like there are actually two different Jokers inside of here. The Day of the Dead version, if you guys want to check that one out. Really cool. And I do already have it in the collection, but it's always neat to have one out of box. And then the other one that we've got here is the Imperial Palace one. And it looks like there is some sort of, yeah, there's a stab mark on the front there. He's got like a crack on his face. Do you guys see that? It might be kind of hard to see, but there is definitely a stab there. which is new for a Funko Pop in my collection. And let me see if I can kind of pop it up a bit to show you guys a bit better. Yeah, look at that. There is definitely, I just kind of like lifted it up a little bit, but definitely a stab mark there. Who fell? Conan! Or Hercules, never mind. And if you guys are curious about more stab marks on this figure, I'm not seeing anything crazy. Never mind. There's one on the back of his head as well. Do you guys see it? It's almost like somebody dug like a pencil into it or something. Again, very odd. Now let's get into the next one here, and it looks like we've got Slush Puppy, and this is a great one, and actually one that I've wanted out of box for a little while now anyway, so this is perfect. And if you guys are wondering about anything wrong with this one, it doesn't look like there is, besides a couple like paint nicks. Because this character is white, it's bound to happen, and you can see some of them on the back, but there is definitely no stab marks. Now, what do we got next here? This one is, I don't actually know. I believe it's from the comic line. I kind of remember there being a whole wave of this comic book that came out, and I wasn't exactly sure what it was. Does it have anything on the bottom here? It doesn't. Wait, there's something on the top here. Ah, Saga! I was thinking Sage. I had Sage in my head for some reason, but no, it is Saga. And I believe I actually had the cat from this a little while ago. I don't know if I still do in the collection, but hey, kinda neat. And now who do we have next? Oh, this is a good one. Here's the Moon Pie Funko Pop, and please tell me there are no stab marks on this one. No, it doesn't look like it. And if you guys haven't seen this one before, it is the Chocolate Moon Pie, normally exclusive to Walmart, a pretty cool figure to have in the collection, and I know I already have it, but it's nice to have one out of box. I can put it on my desk. And actually, now that I think about it, I believe Moon Pie is behind me somewhere. He might be kind of hard to find. No, he's right here. If you guys want to check him out, this is the in-box version of him, and he looks really nice, especially because he's got that blue and yellow box to go along with the actual Moon Pie box. Oh, and it seems like they made this one because they were celebrating 100 years of Moon Pie. Hey, kinda cool. Now, I'm a little bit worried about this one because it does have a base, but it seems like there isn't anything wrong with it. This one here is the T'Challa Star-Lord, and I know that this one might be the common version or it could be the exclusive. I'm not exactly sure which one's which, and I know I've got him around here somewhere. I don't see him immediately on my shelf. But either way, it's still a really cool figure, and I think I enjoy this one more than the one just standing there because he does have the flames coming out of his boots. It's a really cool action pose. And now it looks like here we've got another Marvel one, and I'm trying to remember what this is from, and I definitely did pick up a couple characters from it. It was almost like where they mashed a bunch of figures together. Yeah, it's just gonna say Marvel on the bottom, so I'm not exactly sure. But this one here is Iron Hammer. I just can't think of what the comics were called. And I also remember that there was a glow-in-the-dark version that released, and this, you know what, might be that. I gotta check. Okay, everybody, so I got my little blacklight. Because we only have one figure today, I'm not going to break out the big one, but it looks like, oh my gosh, it is the glow-in-the-dark version. And I know it's kind of hard to see on camera, but he definitely is glowing. You know what, I kind of had a feeling that this one was going to glow because you could tell by the paint. It's a little bit bumpier, and the face and mask just kind of seemed like it was going to. And everybody, it looks like we've got one more on the top layer here. Then there is a row of bubble wrap, and then a complete other layer of figures. And this one here seems to be the breast cancer awareness Supergirl. At least I think so. The only hint that I'm getting here is that it says DC Comics, and with that, I'm guessing it's probably Supergirl because we used to see these a lot over at Toys R Us. And now, everybody, let's get on to the second layer of bubble wrap here, and there is another complete bunch of characters, and right away, I am noticing, oh no, with this Jerry Seinfeld, he is definitely stabbed on the bottom of his head. Like, take a look at this, guys. That is awful. I've never seen that before on a figure. And if you guys want to see what the Jerry looks like, this is him in his baseball tee. And I believe this is just the common version. I think so. Or maybe I'm wrong and the puffy shirt version was the common one. And this one was exclusive to maybe like Target or Walmart. Something like that. Now, I'm going to be doing these next three together because it looks like there's a bunch of the ones from the USA basketball team in here. So we've got Scottie Pippen, who does not want to stand. Then we also have Magic Johnson, who does not want to stand. And then last but not least, Michael Jordan, who I'm guessing does want to stand. That's at least nice. And I'm guessing it's because they're supposed to have a base. Yeah, there's a spot for a peg on the bottom there. And it looks like it, you know what? He's standing pretty good. And now let's see if I can get Scotty to stand here. His feet are a little bit worse. Wait, can I do that maybe? Hey, you know what? I'll take it. And if you guys want to see all three of them together, here they are. Oh, and if you guys are curious about stab wounds, I am not seeing anything besides maybe a little bit on Michael Jordan, and that's about it. Now that I think about it, I'm wondering if maybe they're stabbed because this was a kid's collection at one point and they had seen on TikTok about the brains thing, because every single one that has been stabbed is somewhere on the head. Like, for example, this Joker here, it was right where the brain probably would be, and there isn't a brain inside, but you know what I mean. If someone were to see this and look it up and try to do it for themselves, they'd probably do it right in the middle. middle. So maybe that's what happened with these figures, which is definitely sad. And if anybody's curious about this, you can actually check out my video where I talk about brains in Funko Pops and how I debunked that. Even though I knew from the get-go there wasn't any in there, I had to show proof to people that there wasn't because a lot of people still believe it. And anyways, let's get into these next ones here. And I'm noticing some pretty interesting ones. And I do know who this is. I just can't think of what. Let me think about it here. What's it called? Island. Oh, shoot, it's gonna bug me. Fantasy Island. A bit of an older show, so if you're younger, you might not know too much about this one, but there's a channel that plays a lot of older shows on my TV. I don't know if it's like everywhere in the world, if it's like a local channel, I'm not exactly sure. But they play like Happy Days as well as Fantasy Island and a bunch of other ones. And so that's how I found out about a lot of these older figures that have been coming out recently, like I Love Lucy as well as Happy Days, and of course, Fantasy Island. And so it's neat to finally have this one in the collection, and I just can't think of his name. I'm blanking at the moment. Oh, this one's cool. Check this out. I don't actually have this one in the collection. I've been meaning to get this one for a while and never could find it, but this is the newer Gizmo, and it's not the normal one. He's actually flocked. And I'm hoping that nobody tried to get inside of this one's head. No, it seems like he's actually in really great condition, minus the box. Okay, there's a little bit of paint on the top there, but I'm not going to complain about it. But yeah, guys, this is definitely an interesting figure, and I am loving the new Gizmo, so this one is also going to be going on my desk upstairs. And now, who do we got next here? Okay, this one. What about Bob, isn't it? What about Bob? What about Bob? What am I about Bob? Who am I about Bob? Isn't his name Bob? I might even be getting Bob's name wrong. Anyways, this is played by Bill Murray. I just can't think of what movie this is. But one thing that I do know about this figure is that it was normally a Walmart exclusive, and then that's pretty much all I got. And it looks like we've got about 5 or 6 more characters left, and there are a couple broken ones in here. Like Eric had mentioned, the Mrs. Potato Head seems to be missing an arm, but you know what? Here's her arm, and I believe there was a purse too. Here it is. And so I guess if I wanted to put Mrs. Potato Head back together, I could, but the thing is I already have an intact Mrs. Potato Head, so maybe I'll keep it separate so I can use this purse for something in the future. What? I don't know, but hey, it might come in handy. And now keeping it on the topic of broken figures, I thought this one was alright, but then when I picked it up, I noticed that it does have a missing arm. This one here is Silver from Sonic, and it looks like he also doesn't stand. Maybe if I turn his head to the side, he will. I think he's just top heavy in general, and his feet are kind of leaning forward. And also, yeah, he does need a base. So this one here might be a bit of a lost cause unless I want to use it for like maybe customs in the future, but I don't do very many of those, so I probably won't. And I believe, yeah, the arm is right here, but if he doesn't stand, I don't know, it's not worth putting back on. But this still is a really neat character, and if you guys want to check out Silver a little bit closer up, this is what he's looking like. I mean, minus the arm, but I think you guys get the idea. And now we've got 4 more characters left, and they really are some random ones, like this one here, a Harry Potter Patronus, and I know it's not Harry Potter's, I just know it's from Harry Potter. I believe it's Lupin? It kind of looks like it. You guys are probably going to let me know in the comment section below. I don't exactly know who it is, but I definitely do know it's from Harry Potter. Next up here, we have Jack Skellington, and not the normal one, the one where he's actually stretching out his face to look scary. This one's pretty cool. And I also do not have this one in my Nightmare Before Christmas collection, so this one could be cool to have for maybe if I do like a Christmas display. Could be neat. And now let's take a look at the last 2 characters in here, which are definitely random and don't go together at all. We have Pajama Bob as well as Beetlejuice. And now if you're wondering about any more stab marks, it looks like this one here has actually been like tried to pry open a little bit, maybe because he's got a big head and they wanted to find out if there was a brain inside. And if you guys want to take a look, it is on this side here, which normal Funko Pops definitely do not have that big of a gap. And so if you guys want to take a look at the actual Beetlejuice character, I mean, it looks pretty nice besides that, so I will definitely not be taking this one apart. Actually, I don't know why I said that, because I will probably not be taking any of these apart, because they still look pretty nice. And now, everybody, we might as well take a look at the last character here, which is Pajama Bob, a pretty cute one. And well, guys, that is all of the figures for today, and I want to thank Eric again for sending over this package, because even though they weren't in box and scuffed up and possibly stabbed, there were some pretty nice ones inside of here. And you guys might have noticed these here. I pulled out the best ones that I could find where they didn't have too many scuffs, where they just looked pretty much mint condition without the box. And there are definitely some nice ones that I'm going to be keeping in the collection for a long time. And anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you want to see more from me in the future, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that. But this has been an episode of Top Pops, Popsters. Thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow.
Did the math, I'm baby Johnny Cash. My girl gon' throw it back. Damn, my life is cinemax. Holy hell, this max. I make hits and you make trash. I'm on vacay, do not ask. Poolside eating Apple Jacks. Shut up, big deal like TJ Maxx. Buy some cash.